Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. This is Daily Trading Analysis with a quick market update for today, July 25th, Tuesday. We are going to review the economic data today. Housing price index month over month for May came higher than expected, 0.7. If we see the trend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight months in a row that we are seeing housing prices going up month over month. But price index year over year came slightly higher, lower than the previous one, but look at this trend. Year over year, we are seeing the trend going down in housing prices. But the month over month needs also to continue to come back to lower prices, because if not, I think demand will be crushed. And I think households have already enough with their mortgages, and continuing increasing the price in the housing sector is not going to be good for the demand and for also the economy overall. CV consumer confidence for July, look at this, 117, crashing the expectations of 111 and the previous one 110. Consumer confidence continues showing signs of strength, but Fed manufacturing shipments in the negative, index in the negative, and services in the negative still. But consumer confidence is what it matters in order to avoid recession and in order to keep the economy afloat in the battle with inflation. Now that we covered the economic data, remember that today after the close, we are going to see earnings report from Microsoft and Alphabet. Snapchat is also going to be quite interesting. But for now, I have news from General Motors for the Tesla lovers. And let me tell you, those are not good. General Motors raises full year guidance, announces deeper cost cutting. If we see the revenue quite a bit in revenue and EPS, but the automaker produced just 50,000 units through the first half of this year. Only 50,000 units. Because it blames that supplier for slow EV production, says Chevy Bolt EV will be live. Well, something is revenue, but also investors are seeing, I think, a little bit of weakness in the production in comparison with Tesla. And that's all that matters. If we check GM, General Motors is down minus 4.50. Minus 0.450. We try to squeeze higher, but again, I think the revenue and the growth is still there. It's good enough for some of the investors to hold the stock, but I think production is what matters in order to beat the other automakers like Tesla, like Ford, which demand for their EVs are increasing and increasing. It's good that they are cutting expenses and operating costs, but I don't think General Motors is able to keep the pace of other automakers. That being said, let's go to the Nasdaq technical analysis. Today and throughout all this week, it's only a matter of one word: patience. Patience is being key for, let me just first show you the 1 minute chart. Throughout the overnight, look at this. London Open, quite important for me as always. Nice gap, right? Well, you never know what happened. So at the open, we bounce off this resistance. What is this resistance? This resistance is coming from the 30-minute chart, and it's this pivot. This pivot was key for me to break during the overnight or bounce off during the open hours. And look at this bounce. We tried to break in pre-market, we did it, we bounced, we filled almost the gap, but we bounced off this pivot and then we snapped higher. That was quite a bit of a pullback on the 30-minute chart, and also on this, I was tracking this downtrend. And then beautiful breakout that breaks again pre-market high and grinds higher and higher, reclaims point of control, and now we push high of day. That was the key for me today. Patience to wait for my opportunity in a nice pullback and reclaim of the trend. I think a lot of the important things today for both ES and the Nasdaq was the fact that banks are quite in the red. Financials are 0.40 in the red today. They are weak. And also Meta is also quite weak. Reported earnings tomorrow after the close. Nvidia is super strong, but it helps for the overall sentiment, but everyone is looking to Meta, Google, and Microsoft. Look at Google. What is this? This is just chop after chop after chop. So we have to be patient, waiting for our opportunity to buy at a good price and to really see the chart curling up that shows a change in the sentiment, a change of something during the day. If not, we just chop, chop, chop and get chopped out, and we just lose control of our trading process and also our emotions. So Apple is quite decent today. So that's higher low, that helps the overall Nasdaq. But I was certainly watching Microsoft to really, this is the same downtrend that was in the Nasdaq, and this change of trend was my sign, my signal to go for longs. This push to high of day pushed the Nasdaq really higher, but anything can happen in these markets, and I always track these kind of levels on the core companies like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. And look at this double rejection. We are rejecting from this level. We went higher, but now we are not able to hold it. That's why the Nasdaq is pulling back more than expected, but this was the trade for, at least for me. This was the sign and the trade for me on the day. Tesla is quite weak today, minus 0.63. 2 strong days of Tesla, this and this. Yesterday was quite good, but I think after General Motors concerns regarding demand and production, I don't think Tesla is. We don't know. We have to wait, at least for the week. Amazon, chop. Look at this. There's nothing here. There's nothing tradable in here. Google, quite weak, as we mentioned, and Nvidia, super strong, almost 3% on the day, pulling back. This was a nice pivot gap, fill the gap, and now it can reclaim all-time highs. Who knows? But Nvidia is just a monster. So for now, Meta, Microsoft, and Google are in the focus, on the focus of everyone. So we have to wait after the close to really see the earnings and to see if the Nasdaq can continue higher. We are in this trend, but these last 3 days have been quite weak. We need, if earnings come not weak, but we have to think about the guidance. If the guidance comes lower than expected, or either Microsoft or Google misses revenue or growth, we might see this trend consolidation just break the trend line and go lower. So be careful, don't predict, just react to the earnings, and there will be plenty of opportunities tomorrow. So my recommendation is just to wait for tomorrow, to wait for things to settle, and we have also FOMC at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So just be patient, be patient. Dollar is quite weak. After 4 straight days of strength, we are now seeing the first red candle, and it's quite weak today overall. Yields are mixed in terms of the 2-year yield. Everyone is expecting Fed to reach the terminal rate as soon as July, so the 2-year yield is being affected. The 10-year yield is still going higher. And the inverted yield curve is basically just at the lows. So there's no improvement in this regard, and we have to really pay attention for when things start to unwind towards the zero line, because that would mean that the Fed is starting cutting rates because something is broken or the economy is really sick. So be really careful with that move higher, because that would affect certainly stocks and futures. Gold, quite in the green. I still think gold is in an uptrend. After this downtrend, I think it's the change in the sentiment. We have to see the 2000 breakpoint here. And also for copper and silver, we need to see strength coming up. Copper needs to break this descending channel and this ascending triangle that we are seeing here. And also silver needs to bounce off this previous resistance is now support. All these three metals signal that the economy, the worldwide economy, is in good shape. So that goes towards China and all the Asia demand and production. So that's just showing you the kind of sentiment there's in the markets. You want gold to continue higher, and you want copper and silver to move higher to show signs of strong economy worldwide. And I think that's all from my side. Let's go back to the Nasdaq and let's see if we pulled back a bit. No, we are holding the EMA with these bottoming tails. This looks pretty nice for at least a retest of high of day. I have another resistance here at 15,700 more or less. That's the big Fridays last week, big rejection on this huge gap. And these are something that a lot of people is watching. 15,700 is also psychological. So be really careful. This is a clear ABCD pattern. I like these patterns a lot. So if you manage your risk, there's your opportunity here for a high of day retest or target 15,700. But don't get me wrong, risk is there. We are in a very choppy environment until information comes out for both earnings and FOMC tomorrow. So just be patient. There will be another and more opportunities throughout the week. So don't mess it up and just be patient. That's all from my side. As always, thank you for your time. If you found this video useful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, because I upload videos every single day like this one for market forecast, market updates, and market recaps. I appreciate your time. Remember that the trading day is not over yet. We are in the lunch hour. I think towards the afternoon, we can see some moves, upward momentum or downward momentum. So be ready and be prepared. Manage your risk, be disciplined, and stay safe. See you tomorrow.